Hey, everybody, my name is Eric. It's coming up on Christmas, and instead of thinking about all the gifts I'm going to get people and all the friends and family I'm going to see, and all the gifts I'm going to get, and stockings and carols and all that kind of stuff, just like thinking there's a delightful period of time between Christmas and New Year's where I get a whole bunch of days off and I can write code. And that's what I like to do with my spare time. I'll try to be a well-rounded human being and participate in all the little rituals and traditions that my family and friends love so much. I will honestly give it a shot. But the real thing that lights me up in this Christmas season is I get to work on my own personal projects, which involve animating faces and getting them to talk and getting them to respond to you talking to them. So yeah, Christmas, cool. My shit, yeah. Okay, let's demo. I'm working on this resizing box, and there's just a lot to it. Like, I never really thought there would be so much effort going into these things, but so we can drag. We don't have to do that for a while. We can do all that. And then I started getting some bugs with my last round of changes. I fixed them all. There's, let's see, what else? That's like, I can drag this little thing around now. I can let go of it and it kind of just drops back to where it was. Same with this, all of these, 8 of these guys here. And I've got some code in place that isn't doing much yet, but it's ready to serve as soon as I add a little bit more. In this session, I would like to get it so that when I pull on these guys, it will constrain it to vertical movement only and not let you pull it down to here. Okay, and then for these guys, it's going to be constrained horizontally and not let you pull past this point. And then, you know how these things work if you use like Photoshop or the GIMP. The diagonals, they're wherever you want in 2 dimensions instead of just 1. And I'll also stop it from going past this point here because I don't want to be able to flip the selection box. Sometimes that makes sense. In my case, it doesn't. So I'm just going to work on the constraints, and if I've got a little bit of extra time, I may take a crack at getting the width and height to resize of this overall selection box. But I'll wait to get there. So let's start coding. Some of the stuff I did under the hood is I noticed I was creating a whole bunch of member variables inside of my class definition, and I realized that if I bucketed them a little bit better, they'd be easier to deal with. So a whole bunch of variables that were tracked in the class instance as members, I tucked them away into this thing called an operation. It's a nice pattern to extend if I get more operations. The 2 operations supported now are moving and resizing. And moving is just like this. I drag the element around. Resizing is anything that where one of these little boxes are pulled. So instead of having like a bunch of variables that are up there, they're all tucked away inside of the operations. And up here I've got the resizing operation, which has quite a few things to keep track of. And then the moving operation, which just has less things to keep track of. And I eventually, after I let the dust settle a bit, I can refactor these off to separate modules. And that will make this code be easier to maintain. Okay, for the resizing, I do have some code that after I set these values for the constraints, it should apply them. I'm gonna work on the code that sets these constraints. I think I've got a to-do already there for it. Not that to-do, a different to-do. Here we go. So the first thing that I want is the resizing type. Part. I just forgot what the name of the function is. What is it? Resizing type for component. That's it. Sizing type for component, and we'll pass in from the operation let's do resize operation here instead. Just called operation. Okay. So then I can say, let's see, const resize button x equals operation resize button x plus, I might as well destructure a little bit. Okay, so might as well get the bounding rect. Const x, y width, height equals resize button bounding rect. Okay, const resize button x equals x plus drag offset x. Is that what I need? Do I need the drag offset at all? I don't, because I'm going to apply it elsewhere in checking against the constraints. So let's simplify this code. And then this will be resize button x. And this will be resize button y. Resize button width. Resize button height. Okay. Am I going to need the part? Let's stick with what we got for now. Okay. Let drag min x equal resize button X. I'll set some defaults which don't allow any movement at all, and then I'll add them back as I learn a little bit more about the type of the type of resizer it is. Drag max Y. Okay. Okay, const. See, const left equals 0, top equals 0. Right equals part component width, bottom equals part component height. Okay. Switch resizing type. Just want to put case statements underneath for all the possible types. Top left, top bump, bump. All right, so we say case resizing type, top left. Return. Negative infinity, that's the minimum, and then right is the maximum for x, and then negative infinity for being able to move up, and then bottom is the limit for down. Okay, are you going to require me to do a break? No. Cool. Okay. Return. And then here I want to constrain actually I won't need these. I thought I might need them, but I won't. Let's see, so for X we keep it right fixed on the horizontal axis, and then we say negative infinity to bottom for that. Okay. Top right. Okay, so this is going to be bounded on the left, infinity on the right. And then, yeah, negative infinity bottom. Okay, cool. I don't need these constants. Let's just delete them. Left is going to be negative infinity to right, and then we just don't allow movement on the vertical. Okay, negative infinity right. But now it's reversed, so it's going to be left to infinity. Okay, and these I'll just copy down. Bottom left. Bottom. Okay. And I kind of like to do this. Default, and then just say bottom right. Okay, then get rid of that. The width and height. Those may come in handy a little bit later, so I'll leave them there for now. No longer need to pass these. Oh, I don't have an operation yet, so I have to pass in. Okay. Catch 22. So what I was doing before was closer to correct. Just yank out operation, and then do resize button, canvas component. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's my work. Just looking at this grayed out thing here, and I think I'll just fix it like this, which creates simpler code. What's the other one? Yeah, but I feel like I might use that, so I'm going to leave it in. Come back to here. All right. So yeah, it's clamping on vertical. I can go as far as I want in that direction. In this direction, oh, it stopped. Bam, right there. I'm unsure why it stopped there. Let's try the other side. Yeah, so there's some problems with that. Although, weirdly, it did stop up here. Okay, so the clamping is fine. The min and max is not. I've got some notion of what the problem is with the min and max. Okay. This stuff is a little tricky. might be a difference between absolute and offset X and Y. Okay, constraint. Okay, so when I'm checking for constraints, see, now it's getting like a little bit hard to find stuff in this file. That's why I would honestly like to refactor some of this. Okay, so mouse move coordinates are going to be based upon canvas coordinates, which I've been calling absolute. It's almost like there's no such thing as absolute coordinates. It's always relative to something else. But I've been calling them absolute coordinates. But they're really canvas relative coordinates. Okay, so left. Y, part width, part height. Equals part component bounding rect. Okay. Then we say left equals part X, top equals part Y. Okay. Okay, it stopped. Good. There it goes all the way up. That's good. I mean, I will want this to be a little more exact. So like along this side, I think a good thing to do would be just use the right edge of these little boxes, the resizing buttons. Okay. So for left, I can set it in by half of the width of a resizing button and half the height of the resizing button. Let's try that first. Resize button width divided by 2. And now it's going to get I think bounded a little bit more nicely. Part Y plus resize button height divided by 2. I'm doing math floor on it because I don't want to have floating point nonsense there. I'll save right and bottom until after I've got left and top working as I like. That's pretty good. Now I'm thinking, like, do I want to have like a 1 pixel buffer so they don't join together? Maybe so. Whoops. Oh, it's a nice extra test here. I just grabbed another component and I can see it's functioning as expected. Okay, let's do that. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna add that 1 pixel gap. Plus pixel gap. Okay. Yeah, that looks nicer. Good. Ooh, you gotta worry about a mouse up happening outside of the canvas. Oh, that's gonna be irritating, I think. So if I pull this out and then I come out over here and I let go, it stays. Anyways, I'm not gonna fix that in this session. Let's just get these boundaries right. Going this direction. I think I need to back up a whole square width and the gap pixel. Okay. Minus resize button width, minus pixel gap, and then let's give this one a new line. Okay. So I come down this way. It looks like it needs more. Like maybe another half of a square, so it's like 1.5. Probably same deal here. Yeah, it feels like half a box. Half box width, half resize button width equals math floor resize button width divided by 2 const half resize button height math floor resize button height divided by 2. Okay, then I can simplify this a bit. Get rid of the math floor here. Cool. Other direction. Cool. Okay. Next, I've got 5 minutes till 6, but I don't have to stop right at 6 tonight. Other nights I do. But I can go a little bit longer. So I'll just say I'll finish the session after I get this overall pink box resizing along with these dragging points. So when I drag around, I want like the whole square to update. Ooh, that could be complex, so that could be a whole hour of work. I don't have that much time. Because the other thing that has to happen is these guys get resized too. Or move to retain their place on the printer. I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll take a half hour on this. We'll see how long it takes. Okay. So, resize during drag. Here I'm just getting the amount that I've moved from the original location of the resizing button from the start of the drag. I feel like I should probably save the resizing type so I don't have to continuously look it up again and again. So let's add that to let's have that be passed in here. Yeah. Put the resizing type here. Okay, and up above. Okay. So we'll go back to the drag. To do. There we go. Okay. So switch. Operation. Resizing type. Okay, start with top left. So if we're dragging top left, if part is movable. Okay. Part component width plus equals, let's see, minus equals delta x. Part component height minus equals delta y. I'm kind of curious if these plus equals and minus equals operators will work with getters and setters. I wonder if JavaScript is smart enough to call call the getter, use that as the value that gets decremented, and then use the setter again. We'll see. Okay, if the part is movable, then so many part dot components. It's just destruction. Const component equals part. This allows me to write less verbose code, more concise code. Okay, if part is movable, then the component x plus equals delta x component y plus equals delta y. Okay, I'm just going to try the first one and see what happens. Oh, wow. Whoa. That's not what I wanted to do, but I'm still kind of happy that it's just so fast and actually doing something. That's not at all what I wanted to do, but I think I'm just toying with it a little bit. Weird. Well, first off, let's not fuck with the underline thing yet. Let's just do that square around the outside, and that means this will be let's see, let's get the selection box. That's what I want. This probably still messes up, but yeah, it did. Kind of looks like I've got some things reversed. Let's go over here. Okay, one thing at a time. Let's check on the width and height. Okay, if I move this to the right, the width should get smaller. It is. Now, it's not doing it in the same proportion. Where's my revert? Revert part resize. I can say do it this way too. Okay. So that way I can test it out multiple times without it resetting each single time. So some things are not working correctly. Previous resize x and y. Are you taking x or are you taking offset x? Okay. Create resize this one right here. No, that looks correct. Delta x to width, delta y to height, x, 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 y, y, y. Constrained x and y, I trust as values. Let's just console log. Even just start with delta x, because then I can see it a little quicker. Okay, so if I click on here, it's holding at 0. If I move just a tiny bit to the right, just a little bit, yeah, like 1. That seems right. A little more, yeah, like 2. Okay. That seems pretty right. Let's go back to 0. Yeah, there's negative numbers. Okay, the deltas look correct. I'm guessing delta y is going to look pretty reasonable too, but let's check it out. Okay, I think it's this plus equal minus equal thing that I'm doing. That's wrong. So let's I think what I really need to do is take the original width. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Okay, so operation previous width minus delta x. Okay. So now come back over here. Okay, now this is looking much more useful. I can't quite see everything it's up to because it's clipping off the right, so let's pull that in a bit. Oh, the head doesn't have moving capability. That's one thing. Let's go to eyes. Okay, so the resizing buttons on the bottom and right are not being updated, but I haven't written any code to do that. Not yet, anyways. On this side, you know, the square resizing is doing great, actually. Come over here, it stops. Here it stops. This is pretty good. I need something to update the positions of the resizing buttons. I think I've got that function already written. I'm noting that when I let go, it kept the new XY, and I need to add that to the revert. Revert part resize. So that's here. Oh, the selection box. Yeah, so let's do const selection box equals part, and we'll do selection box offset x equals selection box offset y equals 0. And I can make this a little simpler. Okay, just want to see if it. What? Oh, that's the head, that's right. I keep forgetting the head has got its own weird behavior. So if I let go, yeah, it snugs back in. Cool. Okay, these guys, I think I have some code that will update their position as I drag. Update resizing button positions. Let's just try that. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. There's an argument that I should set the min-max even a little bit wider so I can have it go to that, which is a little more tenable. Actually, there's a really good argument to constrain to that, because if I jam them all up like that, okay, so let's also take this and apply it to the revert. Click on this, if I jam them all up, and they're left in that position, it'll be hard to usefully click on them afterwards. Also, right now I've got my handler for resizing returning false all the time, which cancels, and that causes the revert. But if I have that accepting the operation, it'll be all bunched up like that. So let's just make sure I don't forget to do a few things to do. Constraint boundaries don't allow overlapping resizing buttons. Middle ones. To do mouse up outside of canvas area leaves operation in progress. Okay. So those are orthogonal to the other stuff I'm trying to accomplish. Let's do the other stuff. Okay, break. Definitely want to get this in a separate module. Okay, so that's pretty good. Nice. Okay. Here, I think these are going to be reversed. Maybe I got that wrong. Up and down is good. Left and right. Okay, there's no... Okay, got it. Basically, the X will not change when you drag. Okay. Okay, I'm not touching the height at all. Okay, nice. It's interesting to me when I do one of these switch cases, and there's a lot of code that's copied, but it resists being refactored usefully, because each case is just a little bit different. And yes, I could come up with like a set of attributes that are generally applied to kind of normalize the operation, but I don't feel that's easier code. Easier to understand or to write. Okay. Let's see how that does. Nope. Oh. Click the eyes. resize. Okay. Cool. Do bottom. Just 2 more of these. No X stuff. Just Y. Okay. Let's do one of those to-dos. Let's see, where's the place where I find the constraints? It's too much scrolling. It means it needs to be refactored. Constraint, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So left, let's do let's see. Try that. Okay, maybe I need 2 pixel gaps. Yeah. Okay. Or I could just set this to 2, and then I don't have to multiply. Okay, top. Nice. Nice. Okay. So the idea with the head is that it cannot be moved. So the width and the height of it will shrink, but it'll stay centered. Right now that's not happening, but once I do, this box here, the selection box, should also recenter with the head. This stuff is really sizing pretty nicely. I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow. Coming up on the 6:30 mark here. This was actually pretty nice progress for an hour and a half of work. Yeah, fairly complex to do this stuff. Yeah. Cool. All right. For the people lurking, thanks for joining. And I'll catch you later. It is now time to stop the stream, get myself some tasty food. Stopping the stream now.